You can find me at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV, .TV on IG. About to hop into a quick meeting with my homie, Phil Thomas. I just put out a video on Facebook that was called If I Were Guitar Center. And it's the start of me giving advice to businesses abroad in this way. And so, yeah, we wanted to chop it up about it real quick and we'll jump straight into it. So what I'll do is, let me actually invite him. Give me a quick sec. And let's see, send message. And I'm learning Zoom, y'all. Zoom, everybody should be using Zoom every day for everything. No matter what you do, what kind of entrepreneur you are, no matter what you're dealing with, what kind of message you're putting out there, like everybody should be using Zoom every day and making the most content in this way by having meetings this way, recording them and uploading them to your content, your YouTube, all those things. What's up, homie? Can you hear me? Let me see if I got you through my system, bro.
Welcome. We welcome you once. We welcome you twice. We welcome you 3 times.
What's
In
happening,
the name
bro?
of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh, gosh.
Had to go old school.
What's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. You know, just cleaning. Gotta stay clean out here, man. From the rooter to the tutor. Gotta stay clean. But
right.
Nah, you what you were saying about Guitar Center is actually pretty dope. And that's why I said essentially the Sweetwater model.
Right.
Because Sweetwater had kind of led the way in that, where they would do their whole tutorials about certain products that were coming out early,
right?
Or their reviews from NAMM, or even like you were saying, just basic instructional videos. You know, they would bring in a rep from that company, and they would literally talk about how the product works. I know, if I'm correct, Reverb does that very well too, where they will have like a rolling rep or chord rep, you know, talk about the board and its functionality, what it can do, what it can't do, you know, the advancements it's made, so forth. So I think that's something that I wouldn't say they should have been jumped on, but I hate to say it, but yeah, they should have been jumped on. I mean, from what I saw though, they were kind of doing that more humanistic with their monthly sessions, because they would do like the whole you know, learn how to play the ukulele and learn how to mix drums. They would do that like I think like once a quarter or once a month, something like that.
Yeah, man, definitely, and that's why I brought it up, because at this point, what they need to do is to take that into overdrive, you know. And there's and you think about it, because you know, call aren't open to the public, whatever, but we're here to answer questions. And I was like, oh snap! I think that they more than likely have not jumped on this whole virtual game and just went ballistic on it. You know what I'm saying? Because, and the only reason why I say that is, and this is pure assumption, but the only reason why I say that is because you know, artists about it. This is such a culture shock. It's such a foundation, you know, taking people's lives that up to it and crippling a lot of people as well, and it's understandable. So I was just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna put this out there, and I'm gonna wind up actually putting it out on my public figure page so that I can get people who work at the Guitar Center who are either employed now or before or have anything affiliated to do with it, for them to actually see it on Facebook. Because I really want them to take advantage of this, man. I'm like, to be honest, like many businesses, even ones as big as Guitar Center, like are not going to be coming through this thing on top if they don't completely do something completely out of the norm, or either go hard in a direction of virtual way that they wanted to do before, wasn't, dependent on it or doing it as much just because that's not the environment that they built their business in. I'm gonna have to holler at like Bill's Music on the same tip, like real talk. I almost because it's like you just got to go into overdrive that way. And so the coolest part about it though, which is what I've been telling everybody, like no matter what you do, the coolest part about all of us applying this thinking to whatever we do is that on the other side of this, what it means is that we're going to have extra branches added onto our tree, extra arms added onto our business that we didn't have before. And that's what's going to be the coolest part about it, because it has forced us to grow and add some things to our formula that we either needed anyway or was some things we would have never thought about if we weren't in this position.
I mean, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I know that they're already doing, if I'm correct, they're already doing lessons, I think via Zoom or some other platform. But no, I agree with you, man. It's a thing of like, you gotta, you have to look at what's gonna be the best game for you. I mean, and that's why I really brought up Sweetwater, because it's like when you look at Sweetwater, bro, they're a virtual store, which means that they have a home office, but they don't have to spend money on a physical building. It's like they're a virtual store with probably a warehouse on the West Coast and a warehouse on the East Coast, where they can send whatever products they need to send to whatever parts of the country and the world that they need to send it to. Right. But at the same time too, because you only have 1 or 3 physical locations, you can turn that money and, like you said, put it towards the virtual aspect that you built. So it's like, okay, we don't have a store. Okay, that's cool. So we're going to really put our money into our customer service, our marketing, and our virtual side. So it's like, we can pay this guy more because he's literally going to sit up here and talk to you on the phone and walk you through a whole process of how to build a home studio, how this mixer works compared to this to that. What drums do what cymbals do what. Like, we can pay him more because we only have 2 or 3 physical locations.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing that made it pop in my head. It serves 2 major purposes. Number one, it allows them to service the customer on a level that builds a really deep connection from a brand perspective that will, in the long game, play out to the deepest benefit of their whole business, because they would have serviced people to the core. You know what I'm saying? And develop a sense of connection and relationship with people that went deep. That was the first thing that made me think about it. The second thing that made me think about this too was that right now, more than likely, a lot of their employees are laid off or furloughed. And this would actually give them a way to actually keep all of their employees, so that all their employees could continue to have jobs, but their jobs just switched to being content creators immediately. Right. Like, they literally would be required. If it was my business, they literally would be required. I mean, I would set up the whole print or whatever, so that way, they wouldn't have to do it off the top. They have a really good blueprint to follow. But they will be required every day to take certain products, to explain those products, to do reviews on those products, and help people understand what to shop for, what to buy. They would be showing, like we said, the how-to videos. They would do troubleshooting videos.
I mean, bro, here's what's kind of crazy. And we say this, but I don't think we really understand the power of the saying. There's nothing new under the sun. It just popped in my mind. What you're literally talking about is a virtual salesman. Yep. Instead of me walking door to door, I'm literally gonna meet you online. That's it. And I will tell you, like you said, I will tell you about this product. I will tell you what it can do. I will tell you its advantages. It's this event, because if you think about it, in this type of arena, unless you're endorsed, you can speak freely about the product. You won't be shunned. because you're buying the product wholesale anyway from the retailer. So you're buying it wholesale, you're selling it to the general public at a particular price. So you can speak freely about the product in a sense, because I mean, you know, of course, unless there is some type of backroom deal that we don't know about, then whatever. But you can speak freely about the product. But essentially, like I said, you're being a virtual salesman.
Here's the best part about it, though, that I like. I agree with you. Here's the part that I think makes it explode, though. Like, if you don't even approach people from a sales perspective, like you purely, like, imagine you had a dude like myself with yourself, right? And like, with all that we know about drums and keyboards and audio engineering, imagine you just had access to us, for us to just come to your home and just literally help you with all the stuff that you've been having trouble with. Like, whether it was like, you can't figure out how to hook your stuff up, or you have hooked it up, but you can't figure out how to get the most out of this thing. Yo, you would literally pay this person, like you would pay a subscription to actually have somebody right there with you to walk through those things, because you basically got, you know, someone that's right there with you to help you. All the stuff that you buy in the store, your goal is to produce something with it, or your goal is to be a musician, or your goal is to service your church organization and help them to put together their stuff. Like, you have a goal. So if you just have a person that's literally there to help you with those goals, like during this time, then that means like people have the ability during this time while they're at home and while they have time to sort out stuff, to finally get stuff sorted out that they have not had the time to, even though they bought the equipment, but they never had time to learn it, or they did learn it, but they always never knew how to do this thing because they ain't had time to sit down. Like, yo, I would pay my Guitar Center employees a wage, like an hourly wage. That hourly wage, and that would be to literally be on call for people to call. And of course, they wouldn't call the direct number. They would have like a, you know, particular
customer service number. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like having a Guitar Center coach or mentor. And then you would pay those employees off of the subscription service, because everybody and their mama who's ever shopped at Guitar Center would pay $10 a month to literally finally figure out all the shit they should need to figure out, but that they couldn't have the person who was helping them at the counter to like really help them with. Like, they should. Yeah, if they turn into that, I'm gonna tell you what would happen. Believe it or not, they would actually crush Sweetwater.
They would.
Let me tell you why they would crush Sweetwater. Right? I think it's other people, and that makes sense because they've been able to keep it like pretty scaled. And I think it's a great business model. But I think Guitar Center, with all the fucking employees, they got employees out the wazoo that either right now, like I said, they've laid off, or they got to figure out what to do with. And this would keep everybody employed, but literally build an infrastructure that once everything got to the new norm, they went back to retail. First of all, this would be like the Amazon. They would become like the Amazon of equipment and that kind of thing in a way.
I'm about to say, you know, honestly, here's what you're proposing, and you already know what it is. You just proposed a Geek Squad.
Yeah, Geek Squad Plus. That's you
right.
Too.
You literally just proposed a Geek Squad. Like, I wouldn't say Amazon, but you literally just proposed a Geek Squad, because what would happen is
it's both.
Say it again.
It's both. Let me tell you why it's both. And I feel you, right? The reason why it's both is because you're right. It's definitely 100% Geek Squad. But because there's still an actual store that can ship you out stuff, now what you're talking about is they would still stay in the market for people buying the equipment, because even if you can get it at a cheaper price somewhere else, you're going to buy it from Guitar Center because of the Geek Squad, because the Geek Squad was right there with you and you formed a relationship. So now, like, you're going to go ahead. So they have the ability to not only stay in the race, but literally blow out. And this is, like I said, this is me taking a wild stab at it, but I really believe it to be the case. because they would literally over create the Geek Squad and in their own way, or the Geek Squad and Sweetwater, like we saying here, the Geek Squad plus Sweetwater thing. Yeah, bro. So I don't know what I'm gonna do though is I'm actually gonna take that video and I'm gonna put it on my public figure page, and then I'm gonna boost it from there. And actually, between that and LinkedIn, I'm gonna target putting it on LinkedIn and boosting it as well. Running ads, I'm gonna target all the people that have worked for Guitar Center or currently work for Guitar Center or affiliated in any way. So all I need really is out of those thousands of people, I just need one person to actually see some value in it enough to use it, bro, and then that can change everything for them.
But we're already at that place, yo. Because what it does is, it sets you up for a job. Because they're like, all right, cool. Well, I mean, what do you do? What are you using? And it's like, well, yo, these are the platforms I'm using. When I do my share sessions, these are the things I use. When I talk about the products I'm using, which I purchase outright, I'm not endorsed, no nothing. These are the things I do. And I still talk about the products that I like to use because they work for me. And these are the things I do. So essentially, this is crazy. Essentially what you're also saying too is, which is what the music industry is already doing as far as records. You're literally telling them, I already have the model for you. I just need the machine behind it. So you don't have to do any work. Exactly. Because I figured out what you need to do and how it can work. I just need the machine. You got the machine. I have the idea.
That's it, bro. I'm with you on that. That's essentially it. And that was my whole reason for doing that video. It's my whole reason for doing this, even via Zoom. Because, yeah, bro, when I stumble across stuff like this, I'm like, even if I'm not on point, I think I'm in a ballpark. And even if I'm not in a ballpark for them, there's a lot of other businesses that honestly need to do this same thing and think about this same concept. I got a whole other philosophy for piano stores that when I visited Piano Man on Frederick Road, I wind up going there for like a half an hour and wind up spending 8 hours there, going out to lunch with the guy who owned it, everything, because I was talking about ideas like this, and he was looking at me like, whoa. I've been doing this for 45 years, but what you're saying makes sense, and I
need it. Yep, and I need it.
Yeah. So because think about this. Look, we just said the Geek Squad thing, but that's why I said it's even more than Geek Squad. I forgot about the other piece. You got Geek Squad / like I said, Amazon as far as just like the retail aspect, but then because you can keep the teachers on board, because you can teach it. Then now you got whatever the school side of this thing is. Like, yo, that would be a powerhouse thing. And then and the one thing why I'm excited about this, even just ideas, because like I said, during this time of this COVID time and everybody having to adjust, what I've been realizing as I've been coming up with these ideas for people and helping people in any way that I could, is that to some degree, to a large degree, whether it's the single musician or artist or whether it's Guitar Center, everybody that completely thinks outside of the box and creates something like this that's totally different than what they would have done before is actually adding a branch to their tree, where after this COVID thing, it's not like this whole model we're talking about, like after things get back to normal, like they would stop doing this. This would literally be the biggest thing that they ever have, even in the midst of their retail stores, because this can be done from anywhere and doesn't require an actual building.
And I mean, and you hit it, like it's another branch. So what we're saying, is stores will always be in existence. I don't care how far technology we get. You still gonna go somewhere. That's just flat out. Like a store is going to be in existence, but what you're looking at is the factor of how we're doing this. It's like, yo, I mean, because like Best Buy kind of set the model. It was like people were buying product, but they were having issue with the product, so they would call Best Buy. Best Buy is like, yo, we got to dedicate some people to get this done. somebody said, well, why don't we have a team of guys that will go out and, like you said, go out and troubleshoot for a fee? They were like, okay, that's a good idea. What, how are we going to do it? Well, we'll just call them the Geek Squad. Hey, I like that. That's catchy.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So then, like you said, and actually what you're saying is really dope, that I wish a lot more musicians would jump on. You're talking about a subscription, and we're not talking about something crazy. All we're saying is, yo, if you kick out between $8 to $12 a month, here's what you can get with your product. Here's what you can get with your product.
That's
and
it,
then like you say, even with that, it's like, yo, and I mean, I know some musicians, they do a tier system where like, yo, if you kick out X, you can get X access to me. That's cool. That's what you want to do. But it's like, let's look at it for what it is, man. You need to make money. This person needs help with their product. Just yo, I got a subscription. We just need you to pay $10 a month.
Right.
If you so choose. So that, because realistic, and yo, okay, here's another thing I didn't think about. Now that I'm talking about it. All right. Every time you buy something from Guitar Center, I haven't worked at Guitar Centers, but I understand upselling because I've worked in that arena. Right. Every time you work in a sales business, they always want you to upsell the customer, because when you upsell, that's actually how you make your revenue, is in the upsells.
Yeah.
So when you say, hey man, I got this drum set, X, Y, and Z. I mean, the heads are cool, but these heads would be better and they'll last longer. That's an upsell. When you say, we can offer you a warranty package between 1 to 5 years, that's an upsell. And really for Guitar Center, what they really push is the warranties, because that's where they really, turn around their profit. So it's like, you got this upsell going. Well, what you do there is you go, okay, we got a warranty, but the warranty also comes with a subscription. And with the subscription, it's for, it's for a year. You pay $40. What's the $40? The $40 covers the product. The other $10 covers a subscription. So if something happens to the product, you can call, we can come out and fit. And I mean, really that would more so fit with, really in my opinion, that would more so fit with electronics. Yeah, really more so electronics, because they already have the guitar repair stuff in-house.
Right. I think that's a good idea, because I think that adding it to, like, as an option to the product, almost like how you buy a warranty, I think it's a great idea. But I'm going to tell you something, man. I think it should be built like the other way. Like if I think it should be that thing, but completely the other way. So what I mean by that is,
so be separate.
Right now, no, just like I would build it differently. Like I would build. So basically, what I would do if I was Guitar Center would be immediately. I mean, they would have to first take a couple of days and just set up the virtual system and everything. But I would immediately send out an email to the entire customer base of, thousands of people. And that email would literally say, we now have a subscription service to solve all your problems.
Yeah.
Or matter of fact, it would just be like, first, without even a subscription, it would just be, we are ready to be right here for you to solve all your problems, to help you to continue to learn, to troubleshoot, and to mentor you or coach you in your musical
endeavors.
Needs and endeavors. And then that literally, right from there, the next thing that it would say is like, it would just be like a quick, like, subscription packages and then the access would show. See, because, they have the ability to make courses overnight right now. Like, they could.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Say you take something simple like Pro Tools, or not simple, but like, say you take something
you're right though. Pro Tools, and you do pretty much 101, 102, 103, 201, 202, 203.
You can have somebody to sit down and just hurry up and make quick videos that go from loading Pro Tools to starting it to open a session, recording to blah, 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 blah. Put them joints out every week and people's subscription gets a chance to give them access to all of those videos. And because of the fact that it's all organized and all in one place, then like it makes it good for people, because now, like I said, they can have all of their questions answered, because they can build courses, they can build how-to videos, and then they could include. Then the other branch on that would be the individual coaching, like basically like for a subscription, for a particular subscription, you could say, you could have like a 10-minute phone conversation.
Right.
It could be like 10 minutes, right? Now I might build this differently, but this is just at least one aspect.
Yeah, but
idea.
you just, talking it through. So I understand. Yeah.
Exactly. And you literally you get the opportunity to have your personal problems, and even better, you get a chance to do video conferencing. You know, because then what Guitar Center could technically do, and this is another layer. This is like another layer on top of this whole thing. They could actually, they could do Zooms. They could literally do Zoom meetings every single day, where they answer people's questions, where they record the meeting, so that meeting can immediately be uploaded to their outlets, their YouTube, their Facebook, their Instagram, those kind of things. And then that would go out to just literally the whole world, like anybody that
wants it.
Is connected. Yeah, that could use the information like across the board. So yeah, you basically, so what you get, that's what it is. That's what it is. The subscription would be that you actually get to be in on like certain like webinars and these kind of things, where you can ask questions and your questions could be answered in that format too. But you could sit in like a webinar class, because then while you're in there and they're sharing all the information they're sharing, you're learning what you desire to learn and more, if you like, because it's just like, if they meet people here on a heart level of helping people, what happened is it would literally take their sales through the fucking roof, because like I said, they would be meeting people on a very foundational human level. And chances are, and the other thing that makes me so passionate about this is that most businesses right now are responding to this COVID thing by just trying to figure out other ways to be salesmen. And it's understandable, because yes, we need to make the money to stay in business, but the way to stay in business right now is really to figure out how to meet people's deepest needs.
Yep, that's what I was just about to say. Yeah.
Yeah, because right now everybody's afraid to spend money, and so and these businesses are having to create something different overnight, and so it's like, with people being afraid to spend money, you can't just come from the perspective of like, hey, we'll just offer you this. I mean, you're gonna make some money that way, but you're like every single industry on the face of this earth, and every entrepreneur, every business, every person, like your sales are still like kaplunk. So to me, what this helps with is that you get consistent, dependable, reliable revenue every single month, and you don't have to worry about individual sales in order to keep your business going.
Right. It's funny that you say that, man, because we're missing, to kind of go this way too, we're missing so much of the humanity in it. It's really sad. And you really can't look at people as a number. You got to look at people as what they are, which are people. And it's interesting, man, because I had a conversation with somebody, and they were talking about lessons and, how they were kind of nervous about the transition. And basically what they told me was like, I wouldn't say they kind of forced the person, but they were like on the person, like, yo, you need to jump on the online thing. You need to jump on the online thing. And I let them talk and I didn't say anything. And the first thing that popped in my head was like, yo, you have we've learned through studying, if you go to college or if you just, if you read books, you learn over time that people learn differently. You have visual learners, you have people that can just pick up books and just read stuff and they can just go with it. They can run with it. So you have different type of learning styles. And it's like, you have to make a biblical reference, you have to be all things to all men. You know, Paul wrote, he was like, I became all things so I could be all things to men. So it's like, you got to learn how to be all things to all men. So like you said, to piggyback off of that, it was interesting to me because you made a really good point. I'm trying to stay on track. I apologize. You made a really good point because people are kind of nervous on how they're going to spend their money. So number one, you have to gain the trust of the person that they're spending their money on something that is going to bring them some type of return. If you don't build that out the gate, they're not going to spend their money. And I say that to say, you know, with the conversation I was having, like, I didn't say it to that person, but I was just thinking like, yo, you can't push a person if they feel more comfortable seeing you face to face for a lesson compared to online. You can't push that person to get at you. And then especially when you're dealing with a minor and their child is, and their parent is paying for the lesson, essentially the parent has the control. So the parent is going to give the yes or the no. That's just what it is. And if they're like, yo, my money is set up like this right now, I don't really know what's going to happen with this virus. So I'm trying to make sure I got stuff stacked up. And this really is just a hobby for him. And ain't really that important. You got to be okay with that as well. And that's one thing I think, you know, from a business perspective, you have to look at as well as like, yo, this is a great idea, but we have to be realistic. Some people may not get with it because some people may have issues with me not being there face to face and so forth. But like you said, at the end of the day, if you're building that trust with that person, a lot of times you can kind of sidestep that for them to be like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a chance because they're really showing me something and I think I could do. And you're just building that confidence with that person. Like, yo, just listen to what I'm saying. Take your time with it. We can work it out together. I'm here for you. You know, let's do this thing together.
That's all you got to show people is that you care. All you got to do is show people that you care, yo. That's it. Like, if you show people that you care, then everything else, the rule of reciprocity works everything else out. And that's the reason why, you know, I think this is so important. Because if you go sales driven, it's just not going to work. But if you go heart driven, it's going to work. So on that tip, man, I'm going to get ready to run up in this store. But did you hear the conversation that I had with Lester? Like this type of conversation, but with Lester?
Nah, I didn't hear it.
Bruh. So I'm gonna send it to you right away because it's my philosophy. Like everything we just chopped it up about right now. Take that same thing, same place where we're coming from now, and take it over to drums. And I gave him a whole rundown of something that I think every single drummer should do right away. And it's on the tip of what you just talked about. I would love to see what you think about that idea, man. So I'm gonna send you the video so you can watch it, or the audio, whichever is better for you. And bro, I think you should put it into the works right away. And also, like I said, I want to see what you think about the idea. Period.
Yeah, I mean, because like I know for me, you know, thankfully, you know, I have my 9 to 5, so I'm not gonna say I'm not hurting or anything like that. And I don't say that to boast or anything of that nature, but I am thankful that I do have my 9 to 5. But this time, like you said, it's definitely made me look at some things different. It's definitely made me look at some things different. Cause it's like, yo, you need to have yourself set up. You need to think a little bit further down the road. But I don't think this is weird to say, but a lot of thinking further down the road does reflect on you personally. And it's a thing of like, yo, am I willing to put down my instrument for a little bit to actually learn some business skills, to better market myself, to better negotiate myself, to better build my contract base, to better do this, to better do, you know, am I willing to put down my instrument for a little bit to say, you know what? I got this consistent money coming in. So if I don't like this situation, I can walk away from it okay until I get something better. It's like, are you really willing, you know, to do that? Like a lot of us, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to play. A lot of us love to play, but it's like we're forced into a position where now we really got to learn the business. It's not so much about shedding and getting better, but it's a thing of like, do you understand the business? Do you understand how to negotiate your contracts? Do you understand? For example, do you understand how to negotiate an act of God clause in your contract? Some people say, well, Phil, what's that? Act of God clause is basically where you go in and you say, look, if there be a act of God in any situation, I still can get a third to up to half of my check if there's a position where I cannot perform my services due to an act of God. So, I think a lot of that stuff, like, we really need to, like you said, really talk about. You gotta think outside the box, man.
You gotta think outside the box.
Think outside the box.
Like, it's literally a wave. I say it like this, man. It's a wave. When a wave comes, you either get washed away by it,
or you run on top of it and ride it out.
You learn how to, even if you don't know how to surf, you grab a surfboard, you commit yourself to figuring it out, and you hurry up and jump on to ride that motherfucker.
Yep.
So that's all I'm saying. It's evolution. You either gonna change, or you're not gonna make it through this, and things are just not gonna be good. So that's why I wanted to do this, man. My whole deal is to try to help as many people as possible. So yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of this, man. But I'm gonna send you the link to this as well, and also send you the link to that drum advice video. Yeah, if you think that the idea of that with some other drummers, because I'm trying to help everybody out here. So
I think also to be, and I'll say this, and I know you got to go, and I got to go too. I think also too, something else you may want to jump on is, well, I guess I'll open this can of worms. How we approach the market when it opens back up as musicians. What is going to be our standard?
Our standard,
as far as pay.
Yeah.
Are we going to continue to undercut each other, or are we all going to have a standard?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a whole lot that cats have to figure out. I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing that people need to do though, and that's like to create other streams of income during this time that allows for them to, set their standards the way that they need them to be, and where it doesn't hurt them when other people can't meet those standards. Like, gotta be innovative. So, all right, brother, I'm out of here, man. Much love to you, man. And I'll catch up with you soon, bro.
All right, man. Later.
Take care, bro. Peace.
So to help me to make more content like this, please see the info in the description or comments. Thanks so much for watching. And if we're not already connected on all my other homes, the Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, etc., where you can find me at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV, V at Aaron Hill TV.